Most of the time when an actor leaves a show, writers try to smooth it over. They move away, die dramatically, or get quietly recast and hope we don't notice. But sometimes shows just hit the delete button and pretend the character never existed. And today we're looking at TV's biggest disappearing acts, the ones that just went poof. Before we dive in, hit subscribe for more retro TV flashbacks and drop any characters I missed in the comments. Let's start with Chuck Cunningham, Richie and Joni's forgotten older brother on Happy Days. A tall college jock type who showed up for about 11 episodes, shooting hoops and raiding the fridge. Then one week, he's gone. No goodbye, no explanation, just erased. The weirdest part? In the Happy Days finale, Dad Howard raises a glass to his two wonderful kids, Richie and Joni. Sorry, Chuck, you've been deleted. Behind the scenes, it was less mysterious. Actor Gavin O'Herlihy was bored. I was going to grunt and bounce a basketball every couple of weeks, he said. So he quit. They recast him once, then gave up entirely. Fans like to say Chuck went off to college on a basketball scholarship, but the truth? He walked upstairs with his ball and never came back down. And that's the legacy. A forgotten big brother who accidentally created one of TV's most famous urban legends. Nebula Lawrence, Boy Meets World. Don't remember Topanga's older sister? Yeah, that's because she showed up once. Then poof, gone. In season 1's She Loves Me Not, Nebula, played by Christy Clark, appears to pick Topanga up from a party. But then, the show acted like she never existed. By later seasons, Boy Meets World insists Topanga is an only child. Fans came up with wild theories. Maybe she joined a commune, but none are canon. In the Boy Meets World universe, Nebula Lawrence simply never was. Mandy Hampton, The West Wing. Disappearing characters aren't just a sitcom thing. Even prestige dramas aren't safe. Case in point, The West Wing. Season 1 introduced Mandy Hampton, played by Moira Kelly, a sharp-tongued media consultant who clashed with Josh Lyman, stirred up the Bartlett team, and leaked a memo that caused chaos. Early on, she seemed like a major player, but by season 2, Mandy vanished. No new job, no resignation, not even a line of explanation. One week, she's advising the president. The next, she never existed. Fans were so confused they coined a term. When a West Wing character disappears without a trace, they've gone to Mandyville. Behind the scenes, Aaron Sorkin admitted Mandy just wasn't clicking, and Moira Kelly's exit was mutual. So rather than write her out, he just deleted her. Cold, clean, done. Brendan Lambert, Step by Step. For Brendan Lambert, the youngest son on the 90s sitcom, Step by Step, disappearing wasn't sudden. It was more of a slow fade. Introduced in the pilot as one of Frank Lambert's 3 kids, Brendan was the sweet, shy little brother who fit right into the blended family. He appeared through seasons 1 to 6, growing from grade schooler to teen. But as new characters showed up, baby sister Lily in season 4 and fan favorite cousin Cody, Brendan got less and less screen time. Then came the big switch. After season 6, Step by Step moved from ABC to CBS. When it returned for its final season, Brendan was gone. The Lamberts still had 6 kids on screen, but Brendan had vanished. Here's the weird part. Producers still said the family had 7 children. Behind the scenes, writers admitted they'd run out of stories for him, and actor Josh Byrne wanted to focus on school, so he was quietly dropped. Judy Winslow, Family Matters. She went upstairs to polish her doll collection and never came back down. Yep, that's the story of Judy Winslow, the youngest child in the TGIF classic Family Matters. Early on, Judy was the cute little sister to Eddie and Laura, a few one-liners, a school subplot or two, until the real star showed up, Steve Urkel. As Urkel mania took over, Judy faded into the background. She appeared regularly through the first 4 seasons. Her last moment was in season 4's Mama's Wedding as the flower girl. After that, gone. No goodbye, no she's staying with relatives, nothing. One week she's part of the family, the next she's erased. And Family Matters didn't just ignore her, it rewrote history. Later episodes had Carl and Harriet saying they had 2 kids. 2! Fans everywhere were yelling, "What about the third one upstairs?" Off-screen, actress Jamie Foxworth was cut for creative and budget reasons. But the total erasure made Judy one of TV's most infamous vanishings. Fans still joke she spent the rest of the show grounded in her room. Sarah Spooner, the King of Queens. Even great sitcoms stumble early, and for the King of Queens, that stumble was named Sarah Spooner. Sarah was Carrie Heffernan's younger half-sister, a 20-something aspiring actress who brought some chaos to the mix. In fact, the entire premise of the pilot hinged on her. She was supposed to look after Carrie's dad, Arthur, but blew it, forcing Doug and Carrie to take him in. That's literally how the show started. For the first few episodes, Sarah lived in the Heffernan's basement, giving Doug an extra goofy sister-in-law to bounce off of. And then, gone. After about 6 episodes, she vanished. Behind the scenes, producers admitted she wasn't clicking and dropped her to focus on the real trio, Doug, Carrie, and Arthur. But here's the weird part. Later episodes have Carrie casually mentioned having a sister, then later claim she's an only child. Total contradiction. Even stranger, the entire King of Queens setup wouldn't exist without Sarah's mistake. Yet the show acts like she never existed. Actress Lisa Riefel moved on, and Sarah became a full-on sitcom ghost. There's one quick joke years later where Carrie mentions a half-sister who sleeps in a car. Maybe a dark wink at Sarah's fate. But it's so subtle most fans missed it. Violet Bickerstaff, Saved by the Bell. Bayside High wasn't safe from Chuck Cunningham Syndrome. Violet Bickerstaff, Screech's shy, squeaky-voiced girlfriend, played by a young Tori Spelling, showed up in 3 episodes: House Party, The Glee Club Competition, and Check Your Mate. She was sweet, quirky, and perfect for him, but then she was gone. No breakup, no nothing. But that was classic Saved by the Bell. Continuity barely existed. Tori Scott, Zach's leather jacket girlfriend, vanished after a full arc. Max the Magician, Shash diner owner, gone. Even the Good Morning Miss Bliss crew was wiped clean when the show was retooled. Bayside didn't write people out, it memory holed them. Behind the scenes, Violet was never meant to last. Fans still joke she just transferred to Beverly Hills. Now, not every mysterious TV disappearance is a clean wipe. Sometimes a character fades out, only to pop up later as a sly reference or a cheeky fourth-wall gag. These are the close calls, characters who almost got full-on Chuck Cunningham, but the writers couldn't resist winking at the audience. 7. Married with Children. Meet 7, the little blonde kid dropped on the Bundys in season 7. Peggy's cousins abandoned their 5-year-old on the doorstep, hoping to inject some cute kid energy into the show. The problem? Nobody liked him. Not the Bundys, not the audience. He was bratty, awkward, and felt totally out of place in the show's gloriously broken family dynamic. After just 12 episodes, he was gone. Behind the scenes, young actor Shane Sweet struggled with the role, and producers made what David Faustino later called a cold business decision. They fired him and quietly moved on, but Married with Children couldn't resist a wink. In season 8, Peggy opens a milk carton, and there's 7's face under missing child. Another episode jokes he showed up at Marcy and Jefferson's house and won't leave. But other than that, nothing. A character meant to save the show ended up as a punchline. 7 remains one of TV's most infamous cute kid fails, forever missing somewhere on that milk carton. Tina Pinciotti, that 70s show. Even that 70s show, known for its tight-knit gang, once had extra family members, before quietly deleting them. In season 1, we met Donna's sister Tina, the classic pesky little sibling hanging around during a house party, and that was all we'd ever see of her. Donna became an only child, but the writers did wink at it once. In season 2, during a fake soap opera ending, a dramatic narrator asks, "Where is Tina?" A perfect fourth-wall moment, basically admitting, yeah, we lost a sister somewhere. Fans still joke she's locked in the foreman's basement or wandering around Point Place. Officially, though, Donna went from having 2 sisters to none at all. Stuart Minkus, Boy Meets World. If you watched season 1 of Boy Meets World, you remember Stuart Minkus, Corey and Sean's brainy classmate, always armed with a smug fact or a math joke. He was the show's resident nerd, appearing in nearly every classroom scene. Then summer break hit, and when season 2 began, Minkus was gone. John Adams High suddenly had no nerd. For 4 seasons, he stayed missing, until the season 5 graduation episode delivered one of the best meta callbacks in sitcom history. Minkus strolls up and says, "For the last 4 years, it's like I haven't even been at the same school with you guys." He waves, then yells, "Hey, Mr. Turner, wait up!" nodding to another vanished character, the beloved teacher who'd crashed his motorcycle and never returned. 2 disappearances acknowledged in one perfect wink. Behind the scenes, producers dropped Minkus to focus on cooler kids and worried about duplicating Family Matters' Urkel effect. Actor Lee Norris later reprised him in Girl Meets World, proving no character ever really dies in the age of nostalgia. Still, it's that graduation gag that cemented his legacy. The kid who vanished for 4 years, then popped out from the other side of the school to remind everyone he was in on the joke. And the list of vanished characters who at least got a wink goes on and on. For example, Walter Cockroach Bradley on The Cosby Show vanished after season 4, but was name-dropped a few times. Proof he was still out there somewhere. Morgan Matthews on Boy Meets World disappeared for a whole season, only to return with a new actress joking she'd been on the longest time out ever. Lori Foreman on That 70s Show was written off with a flimsy excuse, then quietly recast like nothing happened. These little nods didn't fix the disappearances, but they let the audience in on the joke. Awkward at the time, yes, but these vanishings became TV legend. They kept fans talking, turned forgotten characters into folklore, and left behind mysteries we're still debating decades later, proving that even when you fall victim to Chuck Cunningham Syndrome, or something close, you're never truly gone. If you're still watching, drop a thumbs up and tell me which missing character you remember most, or who I forgot to mention.